I took that apart and decided that even the panels, it's a little early. I'm going to do the panels after I get this mechanism, the hanging mechanism. It's time to work out the hanging mechanism. Okay? So when I cut the groove for the panels, I went all the way through the top. I'd like to call that on purpose. There's a purpose now. So instead of filling this, I should have done a stopped groove, but I'm going to take advantage of the groove, at least at the top. Maybe at the bottom I'll fill it, but at the top there's this groove for the panel that goes all the way through. What I've got is some 1/2 inch steel, chunk of 1/2 inch square stock that I'm going to try to get set into this with a through pin going this way, so that because it's going to be pulling that direction, so the more shear strength I can give it, the better. And so I'll just put a pin down in this, cut this off a little bit proud from the top, and I'm going to drill and tap it for probably some 5/16 bolts. Then that's what's going to grab onto the sliding mechanism and hold the door. So the door will be hanging, but all the weight will be hanging on 5/16 thread or the shear strength of probably a 1/4 inch diameter pin through this into the wood. So that's kind of where I'm at. And it's an unwieldy piece. I could break out the router, I could do all kinds of stuff, but this particular socket does not have to be awesomely snug. It can be kind of snug. So I'm just going to raise the blade here a 1/2 inch, get it level with this little guy. So let me get depth, the fence settings correct here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we're ready to start slicing away. I'm just going to go in until I feel like I hit that. In fact, we're going to do a real quick bozo prevention task here, because who needs that, right? So the end of this little booger, right around there, we should stop when the top of the blade reaches that point. About there. So the top of the blade is somewhere in this vicinity. There. I've just marked a couple of locating spots so that I don't unnecessarily overshoot. Yeah, that'll work better. Okay. Now we can just take a quick little pass. Enough. And then I'm just going to sneak it on both of them. It's only 2 cuts, so stop this. And I'm just going to take whatever it takes to sneak up on this. Is fine. A little bit more than that. This truly is just a make it work kind of game here. Now that should be really close to wide enough. Oh, it's very close. Not quite. Careful with spinning this thing around so I don't ding up the thing more than it needs to be dinged. There we go, perfect. Okay, now I'm just going to eat away that center bit. Okay, so I've just got them clamped to the bench nice and snug, and I'm fitting this depth, and I'm a little bit shallow yet. It needs to get a little deeper. So I've just got my little router plane here, and we'll take a tiny bit. And see if that helps any. so we're good there. Now we want to put a 1/4 inch hole in this and in the steel. So I'm gonna get set up. We're at the working of the steel parts next. All right, so I cut off a couple of chunks at about 1 3/4 inches because I want them sticking out of the top just a tiny bit. Got one in my 4-jaw chuck on the lathe here, and I'm just tramming it in. And right now we're looking at one side is, I want to make sure we're loaded. Yeah, we're loaded. Okay, so there's 0 on this face, and we flip it to the opposite face, 180 degrees. And we got that by eyeball within 2 thou, it looks like. Pretty good, I'd say. So we're 2 thou high on this side, so we're just gonna cinch down a bit on this side. There. Let's take a look at the other side again. Still very good. It's good. So we'll just kind of gingerly put them together now. Okay. Still at 0. That was actually very lucky. Still a little high, so we're gonna give this a gronkin. Okay, now we're a couple thou low. We're still loaded. Yep. Square stock. Now that's our high spot, just a tiny bit, but we're cinched. So I'm going to leave you now, and I'm going to go to this other side here. We should be close. Okay, we're not. Don't think we're loaded here. Okay, let's see what this side looks like. Oh, that's way off. Okay, so we're going to send him quite far that direction. Alright, excuse me, so I've got my tool bit in. I don't think it's a CPNG, can't remember now, but it's tiny little carbide insert, nothing fancy. We're trying it for the first time. I've never used it before. It's a totally new tool holder even, so we're experimenting. We'll see what happens. But I'm just going to face off the end of this square stock, and then we'll get ready to peck the drill in, and then we'll do some tapping too. Whoops, I forgot to record that. Well, I got the center fixed, and now we are well faced and clean, so we're just going to pop this off. I'm going to pull you back here. There we go. Tailstock's in place. We will peck drill here, or I should say spot this, center drilling it. Sorry about my arm there. I'm just going to drill so I can tap for a 5/16 tap. And first we'll do this little spot drill, center drill, to get it in the right place. Tighten that down, speed. We definitely want some lube here. Speed that up nice. Drilled. I've got too much crap on my headstock here, so I'll put stuff down. Okay, chuck key again. Sorry about the arm. And now I have to look this up because I don't have it memorized. So for a 5/16 drill, this doesn't give me. Oh, there we go. 5/16 16, 5/16 18. It's an F. I'll be right back. I'll go get an F drill. Alright, F drill is in. We're going to drill this down in here. I'm going to go, I want to go at least an inch. I may go a little further. It's going to be a blind hole to get tapped. I guess I could go all the way through. Yeah, I'm going to stop at about an inch depth. A little more looby-loo. Drill away. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Stick a countersink in this. Let's clean this up. And throw a countersink on in there. So we can hang on to that bit. And we'll just chamfer that leading hole so that it'll tap nicely, and then I'll go get the tap. I wonder if I have a spiral 5/16. Needs a little bit of juice. That cut enough. Let's see. Oh yeah, plenty. That'll start a tap nicely. Alright, I'm gonna go get a tap and I'll be right back. Alright, got my Greenfield 5/16 tap. And I wish it was a spiral, but it's alright. We'll live with it. And I know I'm not supposed to use a drill chuck for this, but it's what I use. So I'm going to use it. And I just go in with the tailstock disengaged here. Just give it a little liquid love. Tie it on real slow here. Get it started. There it goes. Reverse it. Snap that chip. Okay, we're gonna pop the thing out of the chuck. Okay. I'm gonna go take it to the vise and finish tapping this. Alright, got her tap, blew out the hole a little, greased it up nicely. Let's get it to start first. Send it down. And the usual tapping process that one must endure. Okay, do the same thing to the second one. I'm going to really quickly, there's a burr on that I want to chamfer out, so actually I'll do that on the mill later. Okay, second verse, same as the first. Okay, so they're roughly the same length, very close to the same length. I'm going to throw them in the mill now and do basically the rest of our stuff here. First thing I'm going to do is get them to be the same, exactly the same length. And then we'll go from there. So I'm just putting them in here. I'm just putting them in on the jaws, or on the base of the vise, because this does not have to be all that square or precise. Just like I'm just my OCD wants them the same length. Is all. There we go. Okay. Give it a good gronk. There. I just got a 1/4 inch cutter in here. You're going to end up seeing my arm, I'm afraid, sometimes. So we'll just... In fact, I'm going to switch you around. Hold on a second. There's a much better view. And so we'll just go until it's just touching. Engage our microfeed. And just going to get on these guys a little bit. A little bit of juice. Call that my 0. Run over here too. Should do power feed on this thing sometime. Speed. now we can flip it back the other way and do the countersinking I was planning to do. While I have it here, though, I'm going to make this end safe. Just chamfer the end of that. And I'll just come in and very gingerly seek our way through this, because I'm not centered. It's not a very accurate thing, but I used the lathe instead. I could have used the mill. Just looks okay to me. Juice on it. That ought to be plenty. Okay, now we're safe there. Now I can pop them out, and we're just I'm gonna fashion together some kind of a simple stop that I can put these against and drill through for the 1/4" pin. All right, so we've got our parallels here. I'm gonna brush some goo out of the way into the schmoo. All right, and so I've just got the square end. I just set in the vise, and then I bump it into this stop here. It's got a little bit of a rubby spot here. There we go. And I'm just going to bump into it like so. And put this one in on this side so that it balances out the vise pressure. And then we just cinch it on down. So now we can come down here and get somewhere near where we want to be. And this should be with enough steel in the end so when I go to weld it in, it's not going to be horrible. How are you on center? Looks pretty good, okay. I'm going to go a little bit further up, right about there. Whatever this is, I'm going to lock this down. I've locked my X and my Y now. Put a little of the schmoo here and kick it on. Call this my center drill spot. There we go. Okay. And now our 1/4" drill's in. Just drill it through. This isn't going to be a press or anything. I'm going to weld it in, so it can be just a sloppy hole. Okay, they're both drilled now. I'm just going to take the burr out of those holes and chamfer them nice for some weld bead here. Get a nice weld bead. Oops, sorry about the mic. There. There's enough room for some weld in there. Nothing to that. Very easy. We'll flip it over and do the same to the other side. And these little parts will be essentially done. There. Don't do that with your hands. It's a bad idea. Okay. Two useful pieces of the hanging sliding hardware. Done. Okay. I'm going to get some 1/4". Oh, I did go right through that one, didn't I? Cute. Interesting. Anyway, one of them drilled deeper than the other. Anyways, doesn't matter because blow these out and get it nice and ready, and these are ready to get the 1/4" through them. We'll be right back. Okay, I just quickly cut a couple of pieces of steel pin, just some some nice rods here, and they go right into the hole, and this will be basically what the door will hang from. This will go in here, this will come up like this. This will be embedded in the door frame, and this will hold up. And then I can screw a bolt in here to grab onto the slider. And they both fit. This is, I should think that 2.5 or so inches on either side ought to be long enough to hold this thing. And there's little chance that it's going to go anywhere. And I might not even weld it. I may just leave it without the weld. We'll see. But anyway, that's the main chunk that has to be embedded in the door. The rest is on top of that. Alright, so we've got our steel bits are made up. Now we've got to work out getting them into the wood bits. So I'm just going to take one and stick it in here and decide where my full stick out will be. It's going to be more than a, well, maybe we can get away with 1/4. If it sticks out 1/4 inch, that's probably fine. I might have to shave a little bit off the tenon, but I can live with that. Alright, so now that one's in there. I need to find where I put the little hammer I want. It's right there. Hi. And I got a transfer punch, 1/4 inch. Happen to have the messiest transfer punch I could find, couldn't I? That is terrible. Clean that up. Alright, that's better. So I got a transfer punch. Now I can pop it in here and go book. And that is where that hole goes. We're going to do the same with this one. And I'm going to set the same stick out here of 1/4 inch. There we go, just about like that. And transfer punch this hole. Doink, doink. Okay. In fact, that's good. I'm going to grab that and do those. Now I can take this drill and drill my 1/4 inch hole straight in. And I can go pretty deep. I don't really care. If it's too deep, because I can just shift it around, and I may or may not weld that pin in. I might weld it just to keep it from rattling around. Okay, let's see just how far that goes. That works well. That'll work all right. There. That's how far into that one it goes. We'll do the same with this one. I'm going to have to be able to get it out of there, but that's all right. Pretty good. I actually like that a lot. Okay, this will go into the rail when it comes in, so I've got to drill a hole into the end of the rail. But that is the basic plan. And now that I know that's the basic plan, I have to pull these guys out now. Learn how to tighten a drill chuck, dummy. There we are. That'll do very nicely. That'll do incredibly nicely, I must say. Anyways, needs more, what was it? Needs more paprika. Needs more paprika. All right. Cool, that's good. I'm a little punch drunk. It's all right. That is that. Those are those. We'll deal with the pins into the rail next. Alright, so we've drilled pretty deep, and now we need to get the hole locations transferred into the rail that's going to go here. So what I'm going to do is I've got this broken off router bit. It's a piece of crap carbide, but it's 1/4 inch. It's not a piece of crap carbide, it's useless as a cutter now. So it's just going to be a transfer pin, I guess. It's a dowel pin now. It's perfect 1/4 inch. So we put that in the hole, and I drilled these holes just a tiny bit oversized so that they would have a little bit of tolerance. and we just slide that on there. And then we take ourselves a nice dowel center, put that in place. We see which one is our 2 mark. This is 2 on this side, okay. So we take our rail, and where is 2? That looks like 1. Where is that 2? Crap. It would appear I have hidden my own lines from myself. So this is the 1. That would make sense that this is the 1. So that makes you the 2. Okay? So we just slide this on in, and then I'm going to pop it, take it, hit it this way just a little bit to make sure that I'm as far up on the, it might be too far, but it's just one more thing to get a line. Now I can hit it hard, and that, well, it moved a little, but yeah, it took the dowel point and pop it out of here. I'll show you. Now there's a little hole, a little tick where I need to drill. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Put this pin in. This pin goes here. Tap that down in there. And then the dowel center can go in. It's a little bit high. It's fine though. And then we take our 2 line here and get it pretty close and tap it down on it. Same thing. That drives it home enough. We've got our little point. That's where I want to drill. Okay, so now I'll get set up to do that. Okay, just got it clamped in the vise. I know where my pinhole is. I'm just going to sight down and get this started with this drill. And just try to start sighting it down very straightly. And I can't go far because I'm hitting the tenon. But it got it started. Now I can go to the lamp bit that I've got here. And we can drill even deeper. Give it all we got. It's going to be a long drill. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, really. Okay. That should mean I can decide now whether I'm welding or not. But let's do a test fit real quick, and then I'll decide on welding or not. Be right back. Okay, 1/2 dry fit at a time here. Figure this one out. Get that in there. Get that down as deep as it'll go. That's about as deep as it'll do it. Put this one in here. Get that about as deep as it'll go. Come on now. This one has a burr in it. It's kind of annoying. Oh, it's been mushroomed a tiny bit too. Okay. Okay, now, let's see. This one is the single, so this will go here. Should just slide its way in. That's perfect. That's exactly what I was aiming for. Cool. Doesn't look held up. Doesn't look held apart at all. It looks perfect. Let's pull it apart. And I pulled the steel with it. Okay. Do the same to this side. Just make sure that the tenon can do what it needs to do. And it can. That's pretty good. I like it. I like it. My intent has become fruition. And I don't think I'm not going to weld it. I don't think I need to. I think it's fine without welding. Yeah, I think it's fine without welding. It's not going to be a problem. Cool. I think we are ready then to consider getting ready to glue this thing up. All right. All right, so the last thing before I can glue this door frame and stuff together is the panels. So the panels just need some sanding. There's tiny, I mean, maybe 5 or 7 thou at the seams here where there's some slight variation. That one might be 10 thou. But for the most part, very little needs to be done to these. I just need to get them flat and smooth, nice and smooth. And then they'll be ready to go in. The bottom panel is better because I did not glue the seams beforehand. I glued everything together without the seams glued. I just taped. I think from now on that's how I'm going to do this, because the glued seams actually have a lot of glue squeeze out that I'm going to have to contend with and hope I don't go through. Biggest thing, this is super, super, super thin veneer. 23 thou. So we're going to do as little as I possibly can to these things to get them even and smooth. I've got my power sander, but it's set on the lowest speed, and it's got 320 grit in it, and I am not about to dawdle in any one location. So I'm just gonna, you know, get on it. Just work out my dust collection here. I might come above. It might be easier to come in from up above. Maybe that'll work better. That might actually, yeah, I think I like that. I'm gonna grab a bungee and we're gonna do that from above. I'm gonna grab this bungee right here and hang it right here. There, how's that for getting in the camera shot, eh? We'll go like that. Yeah, I like that a lot better. I'm going to get the extension cord out of my basic footpath here. Yes. Yes, I enjoy this. This will work. Good. Okay, sorry, was thinking through that one. And now we're just going to get it. Just going to get it. Okay, one final little bit. That sanding went well, by the way, went good. There's a couple of little tiny pieces here where the veneer has a little bit of a hole that I need to patch, and I want to just get that done before it's in the panel or before it's glued up and in the door itself. It'll be easier to trim. So I've just got some 5-minute epoxy that I've never used before. But I think we got enough ebony in there. We can use this as is here. Looks like there's a little tiny spot, a little pock right there. I'll take care of this spot. Take care of this spot. Watching out for any others. No. That's the part of this that kind of stinks. Is that I needed 3 drops. I mixed a lot more than 3 drops. I don't think I can take the chance of getting it on the other side like I'd like to. without it running, and it needs it to. I think you're gonna run if I try this. I wonder if I can do it upside down. This seems silly. Why not just wait? It's a 15-minute thing. Let's just wait. Oh, all right, I'll wait. Fine. And then we'll just scrape that flush. More of the usual.